Hi friends, this is Calpun Piso. I'm going to explain today something interesting that nobody seems to understand. But let's begin with a number one fact that I always say. We are evolved, mutated primates, product of evolution over 47 million years ago, that create the mind with our brains. In other words, when the brain malfunction or is theotardic or have a problem, it will not be able to tell the difference between fantasy and reality despite an education. And this is a fact. The bizarre metamagical beliefs at the root of all religions and also at the root of a schizoaffective disorder is a sign of brain malfunction. And there's many different types of brain malfunctions. The brain is extremely complicated organ. There are the universes within. It's absolutely amazing. There are more connections in our brain than galaxies in the universe. They have to tell you something. It's like quantum mechanics. So people that say, psychologists and neurologists and all that, that would say that religious beliefs are not the same like a neurological disorder as a schizophrenia, they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. Sorry to tell you. And they're like this because it is a fact. If it quacks like a duck, flies like a duck, swims like a duck, well, you know what it is. It's definitely not a platypus. So here, enjoy this. I'm going to talk about Tassels, spirit world, something that kind of baffled the ancients, the air, the spirit world, what we have in our lungs, what we breathe, the force we breathe. That's the soul. Because God, heaven, demons, spirits do not exist. We're in the 21st century, not the 6th. Here's the spirit world. Experiencing a really interesting storm. Put yourself in the brain of an ancient Egyptian 5,000 years ago experiencing something like this. To them, it were the spirits affecting the world. The dark clouds would be seen as evil spirits attacking the sun god. So, this air was the spirit world, right? Our evil spirits. Not unlike flatulence, the stinking flatulence. They were seen as the unclean spirits exiting the gate of hell. And you can see with the clouds. For the ancients, this was the spirit world. Today we know it's just the atmosphere, because we're in the 21st century. And people today with defective brains, or in primitive tribes and all that, even today, they believe in all the supernatural things and homeopathy and things that they don't understand. So this is actually a storm and atmospheric effect, and the only people that will understand this very well are mentally healthy, in other words, atheists that are scientists that understand nature and they are not infected with or other bizarre beliefs accepting disorders. Here we can see a dust storm, the sun, our God, to the ancients, the sun, the sky, which represented the spirit world. It was believing God today is really a psychosis. We know that this is the representation and personification of the gods, because everything was personified in ancient times. To them, everything, insects, birds, everything they could not understand were a representation of the gods. This is our life giver, our sun, that was created 4.5 billion years ago by the explosion of a star. Gas it produced coalesced into our solar system, giving birth to all the stars, planets, and eventually us. The beautiful sun, our star. Dust storm. The sun is being eclipsed by clouds. In ancient times, it would be considered a bad omen. Today, we know it's just an atmospheric condition. The sun has disappeared. Has been eaten by the storm and the clouds. This to the ancients would be a battle between good and evil, and also depicted in sacred texts and books using different names. Storm has eaten the clouds, has eaten the sun. Clouds has eaten it. In ancient times, this would be considered a bad omen. Today we know it's a... Well, friends, as I was explaining, you know, there is no God, there is no hell, there is no angels, afterworld, nothing. Basically, the spirit is the air in our lungs, and the spirit world is simply the atmosphere, the air. 40,000 years ago, and then 10,000 years ago, when religion began to be, societies began to organize religion, you know, seeing the things that they didn't understand as gods, including the stars. Well, in the air, they couldn't figure out this force. Clouds, birds floating in this mysterious force that we also have. It's called the spirit world. In Egypt, it became tassels. Anything that you do this with, this was mysterious. Why this thing happened? They don't understand this. So this became very sacred. So all this was used in all the garments as religion, as a sacred object. So this simple thing here from my robe, these are sacred. They're holy, they're divine. That's the reason all the priests and all over, and you have that in Chinese priest, in Japanese priest, even in Mayan priest with all the hairdo, with all these things. The Mayan, the Peruvians, the Incas, everywhere you have these mysterious objects. They are like ribbons, but that's where it comes from the air. So this is considered sacred. You can see, watch a Catholic priest. They all have ribbons. Rabbis, imams, they all have the little tassels. And the Romans, they use it in the cuirass and also in the outfits. And you see the Romans, they had this, in the garments, this little leather strips that protected their penis Christ, their sacred organ of creation. And they were all around there. So all these are sacred. The Chinese emperors, the crown, as you saw what I was in my video, the clips, they have these little things like a curtain flying around. This is all sacred because it comes from this. And you see the Catholic priests, they kiss it. And they have all these ceremonies. They all come from the Roman religion. Everything. All the Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and many, many more, they all originated, organized, and combined from many other ancient religions, including the Egyptian religion and the Assyrian and all those, Hellenism and all that were combined. And the Roman Empire molded them, formed them into what is called now Abrahamic religions. So from Rome originated, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And they all mixed together with the thing that really kicked the religions of the Abrahamic religion was the sacrifice of the God and Savior, Julius Caesar, the Christus, the Pontifex Maximus, the great builder of bridges. That by luck he was sacrificed, he was killed, and then a comet appeared. And when the moment that the comet appeared, Octavius, his heir, said, "Hey, this confirms that he's a god, son of Venus, equated with Jupiter, equated with Ahura Mazda, equated with Yahweh with the little letters, equated with all the different gods, equated with Apollo. So all blend is the same God with different names. That's what they're being worshipping all the time. Julius Caesar the Christus, and his son Augustus, the Son of God, also combined with him, forming the Trinity. The Spirit, God the Father, Julius Caesar, God the Son, Augustus, Son of God, and the respective geniuses, or the spirit that combined both of them. So it's three people. Three gods in one true God, but three gods are equal. So it was a mystery to them, but not to me. Hey, we create God with the brain. Breathe deep. Breathe the spirit world, which is oxygen. Keep your brain healthy. In other words, atheist. If you believe in God, which is a bizarre metamagical belief, also found in schizophrenia and other mental disorders, you do have a problem with the brain. A brain that lacks oxygen, it would actually suffer delusions and it will be sick. Keep the brain healthy. That's what you create thoughts with. Eradicate the psychosis of God belief, which will make you sick.